Yate Osio Halito Istango Bojo from the Indian Nations University. You're watching Haskell News.
Welcome to Haskell News. I'm Lori Hasselman. Students started the new year off campus, but many had the spring semester in mind when making their New Year's resolutions. Here's the rest of the story. Students often resolve to be healthier or to spend smarter, but many students have also included a better semester for spring 2014 on their list of resolutions.
One of them was to stay more on top of my work and keep current with my assignments instead of waiting to the last second, procrastinating like everybody else does. And get more involved with my class and talk to my teachers more.
Get a better GPA for this semester and attend classes and also have communication with my instructors.
My New Year's resolution is to not drink any soda and just be more active in Haskell.
My New Year's resolution for Haskell 2014 is just to continually represent my tribe in a positive manner and help out my fellow students with any academic needs that they may have.
The Student Success Center is an excellent resource to help students be successful in 2014. Retention technicians Jimmy Beeson and Marlene Chato are accessible to students for one-on-one help.
If they want a group study set up, they can come and see me. I can go into the classroom, make an arrangement that says who wants to do a study group.
Making the resolution is the easy step. Following through can be more difficult. TRIO retention specialist Jocelyn Martinez had some tips for students to keep their New Year's resolutions.
To achieve your long-term goals, when you're setting your mini goals, you want to be realistic. Don't overset your goals. Don't do something that's going to be too hard to attain. You also want to know your strengths and your weaknesses. You want to draw in on those strengths, and you want to learn what your weaknesses are so that you can have a plan in place to be able to react whenever roadblocks occur.
This is Lori Hasselman reporting for Haskell News. Right at the peak of the polar vortex, when temperatures reached record lows, students were required to pick up their enrollment schedules or be dropped from classes. Here's Dallas Rudd with a story.
As the polar vortex came through Lawrence, Kansas, Haskell students were required to be on campus Monday, January 6, 2014. Temperatures were -10 to -20 with the wind chill. If you didn't pick up your schedule that day, you were going to get dropped from all of your classes. I interviewed a couple people to see what their reactions were to this situation.
Yeah, I felt like it was wise. Because returning students, they kind of have a feel of how the whole scheduling and enrollment pickup and schedule pickup works. And also, like, transfer and new students coming in for the semester, I'm sure they were notified in advance whenever they got their acceptance letter to Haskell that they had a schedule of the dates, and so they had time to plan ahead. And I know sometimes things pop up unexpectedly, but still you had at least probably a month all of your Christmas break to plan ahead, plan for rides and stuff like that. And then even with the weather, I know the weather, we can't control that. It's like an external factor that we don't have control of. So for Haskell to have their enrollment and schedule dates on Monday, I felt like that was wise, especially with classes starting on Wednesday. You don't want people rushing around all last minute and stuff like that, and it'll just be like chaotic. So for them to have those dates picked out, I thought it was pretty good, personally anyway. So.
Our students here at Haskell had to travel from many states away: Arizona, New Mexico, Oregon, South Dakota, North Dakota, all of them having to drive through this weather or get delayed at airports just to get here.
The weather actually didn't really affect me. Pre-enrolled last semester, or did it early, so I didn't have to deal with the long lines. And all I had to really do was just go grab my schedule. That was it.
Many students began the spring semester's classes without a schedule. Here's Raquel Butler with a story.
Weather made it hard for students to return to campus on time this semester. Sadly, arriving late caused many of these students to lose their spots in their classes. Taylor Jollyboys was one of these students.
All right, so I had to take a later flight from Washington State to get here, and I got here a day late from the deadline to pick up your schedule. And I did call, but they don't accept phone calls, so all my classes got dropped.
This added a lot of stress to Taylor's first week back.
Well, I tried emailing my advisor, but his email box was full. So I decided that I'd go to all my classes that I was originally supposed to take and try to get them to sign off on enrollment. I mean, I was looking forward to the next semester, but didn't really turn out that well.
Smokey has a few small solutions to prevent this from happening again.
Probably a little bit more time, knowing what's, communicating to the students so that they'll know what's happening ahead of time would probably be the best thing.
Although the snow caused a few problems, some students were still able to enjoy it. I'm Raquel Butler, reporting for Haskell News.
Haskell opened up the spring semester with a full house at the auditorium for Convocation. There, the newly appointed president, Dr. Vanita Chenault, spoke to students, staff, and faculty about their goals for school.
It's like, onward Haskell, onward Haskell. This is our war cry. Keep the good old name before you, never let it die. You know, and you think about that song and when it was being authored, it was at the point when they were starting to be permitted to embrace who they were as tribal people. So when you think about it in the context in which it was occurring, onward Haskell. We got to keep this school moving forward. I'm not a messiah. I'm not going to be able to do it by myself, but I am inviting everybody to walk with me, to help me, to ensure that we keep the good old school before us and never let it die. Onward Haskell. Thank you.
Former Haskell student and longtime humanities faculty member Dr. Joni Thompson passed away on December 9, 2013. During her career at Haskell, Thompson had a significant role as the founding advisor of the Haskell Film Club and played a large part in forging a closer relationship between Haskell and KU through activities her students participated in at the Spencer Art Museum. She was also curator for the traveling exhibition Native Threads that debuted at Haskell Library. Joni was the recipient of the American Indian College Fund Mellon Foundation Fellowship and traveled to Nepal under the auspices of the Fulbright Foundation. She obtained a doctorate of philosophy from the University of Kansas, where her thesis, Beyond Sweetgrass, The Life and Art of Jean Quick-to-See Smith, is cataloged by the KU libraries under the heading of Biography, Art History, Women's Studies, and Native American Studies. She was also a citizen of the Muskogee Creek Nation. Thank you for watching. I'm Lori Hasselman for Haskell News. Willikishku.